shoulder look like that? That's weird. So hi everyone, I'm Molly Bryant and welcome to my cute and chronic life as a type 1 diabetic. I've been wanting to start this YouTube channel for ages. I've been raising awareness for type 1 diabetes for like 3 years now over on my Instagram. And recently I decided to make a TikTok account called Cute and Chronic. I posted a couple of videos and over 3 weeks I gained something silly like 22.5 thousand followers. Like, what? Like, I think that's absolutely crazy. Like 22.5k followers. Like, crazy. The amount of like love and support I've had on this account, like everyone's just been so lovely, and the amount of people that have like reached out to me saying that I really helped them view their diabetes differently, and like I've helped them like learn a lot about type 1 diabetes and like what it actually is. So my dog just walked in. I can't believe that something like posting a couple of videos of me like injecting myself or just talking about this condition has like helped so many people, and I hope I can continue to do that like through YouTube as well. I posted a video on TikTok earlier and on my Instagram saying that I was going to do a Q&A today all about type 1 diabetes, so let's get into it. Just look at some of the comments. Do you feel like you get judged? Yeah, I do. Not by everyone, of course, but I think like small-minded people I've come across who haven't got a clue what type 1 diabetes is. And yeah, they really judge me. And I think it's like little comments as well that come out like, oh, have you got the good or bad kind? Did you eat too much sugar as a kid? And people are so quick to judge when they don't really know what type 1 diabetes is, so it's a bit like, but yeah, to answer that question, I do feel like I get judged, like more often than not. Have you ever forgotten your insulin? What would happen? So I haven't forgotten it over like such a long period of time, but there's been times where I've had like a meal and I just forgot to inject after it, and I just look at my Dexcom or I'll test my blood sugars again, and they're like very high, they're at like their 20s, and I'm like, oh. So most of the time, like, if that ever happens, I just do a correction. Or there's a time that I left work, and I left to go to work, and I ate my meal on my break, and I forgot my insulin. I asked to go home, and the managers were very, very not happy about that. And I was like, do you want me to die? Lol. But yeah, I have forgot it, and quite scary. I was diagnosed type 1 diabetes just over 2 months ago. Are there things you would like to know when you were just diagnosed? Told when I first got diagnosed that it's life-changing, which yeah, it is. And I got told that there was some stuff that I wasn't allowed to do, like drive a train, drive a plane. They kind of just left it like that. I guess I was young. I think I was like 12 or 13 when I got diagnosed. And I kind of wish that they spoke more about the nutrition side and about like how important it is to carb count and to inject the right amount of insulin, and like the after effects if that doesn't happen. So there was a time where I was so in denial about my diabetes that I just wouldn't inject. I would just pretend that I never had it. I wouldn't test my blood sugars and I wouldn't inject, and I got really ill from it. Like I went into DKA, and I kind of wish that I knew what would have happened if I did that before rather than after it happened, because it could have like prevented me not to do it. But yeah, that's one thing. Which insulin do you use as your long-acting one, and why? So at the minute I've got Tresiba, my long-acting insulin. And why? Just because, well, my nurse just gave me this one, to be honest. I started off with Levemir, and then I used Lantus. So Levemir only acts over 12 hours, I believe, and Lantus and Tresiba act over 24 hours or maybe even a bit longer. So I think that's why I switched to this to Lantus first. Then I remember Lantus like really stinging every time I used it. I mentioned that to my nurse and she switched me to Tresiba. I like this one. This is my favourite one so far. How many times a day do you have to check your blood sugar levels? So at the minute I'm using the Dexcom G6, so I have a sensor on my leg and it connects to my Apple Watch, so I don't really test my blood sugar. I just like look at my watch or look at my phone whenever I want to know my blood sugar. When I am finger pricking, before every time I have a meal or before every time I eat, before and after exercise, if I start to feel like a little bit funny, like I feel like I'm having a hypo or a hyper, then I'll check then, and before driving. How do you do your insulin injections so easy? It's so hard for me to do. You're literally my inspiration. That's really sweet. Oh, thank you. I think that first time at hospital when I had my first injection and like I realised that it didn't hurt that much, I kind of just got used to it, I guess. Yeah, there's been times where I've injected and it's actually really hurt because I've injected in like that same area like a couple times. But you just got to think that that little injection is saving your life. Like it literally is saving your life. And if that's what I've got to do to live, then that's what I've got to do, you know, like I could have it a lot worse. So yeah, I just think that way and helps me get through. Have you ever tried a pump? I'd like to try one, but I'm not too sure. Same. So I've been on injections for like over 10 years now, and I do want to try a pump, but because I dance, I don't really want something like attached to me like, at all times. Like let's say I do partner work or like I'm rolling around on the floor. I don't want it like to catch on anybody else or like injure anyone else or even injure myself. And like, I don't know. I spoke to my diabetic nurse this week and he said that he really wants to like get me on the pump because they're getting better and better, which I agree they are. Like the technology in type 1 diabetes these days is incredible, like actually incredible. I definitely do want to try one, but maybe in like a year. Not yet. If there was a cure, would you cure it? Yes. 100 million, 1000%. Do you know how like draining it is? You know, if you're having an off day and you look at your friend or you look at someone and like they're eating and they can eat whatever they want without having to count for it or worry about what's going to happen to their blood sugar. Like this happened like not long ago. I was watching my brother eat something and I was just like, I wish I could do that. Not to get like deep already, but yeah, if there was a cure, I'd definitely 100% like cure my diabetes. I'm not too mad that I have it anymore. I think I was, but now I'm just like, it is what it is, life's life. Could have it a lot worse. Okay, so we have best/favourite places to put sites. I think my favourite place to put my my dextro, what's that called? Dexcom, is probably my leg, just because, I'll show you. I have my Dexcom literally like right here right now. I just like it there because it's not in the way. I don't like having things on my arm. I think like my arm's one of my biggest insecurities and I just don't like want to enhance that. Yeah, I don't mind having it on my leg. Like sometimes I can look cute with shorts and some people are like, oh, what's that? I'm like, oh, diabetes. How can I support a work colleague? 2 people I work with are type 1. That's a lush question. Okay, so to support other people with type 1, I guess like if you're confused about anything that they're doing or feeling, then just ask them politely. Like never be that person who's like, are you sure you're allowed to eat that? A lot of people like cringe when I do my injection. I'm like, just look away, just look away. So I think like just being quite supportive and like just being there for them. Also little things like if you're with them quite often, then that was the neighbours kicking a football at the fence. Thanks. If you're with them quite often, then even carrying like maybe a pack of dextrose with you as well, just in case if they have low blood sugar and they haven't got anything, then you know, you always got a little backup. Like, yeah, I think like just ask them like questions, like if you need anything, or like I'm sure if you ask them like to teach you more about type 1, I'm sure they'd be more than happy to like educate people or educate you. That's a nice question. What do you wish more people knew about diabetes? Right, okay, first things first, there's more than just one type. There's a few types. It's not even just type 1 or type 2, like there's quite a lot. I'm not that educated on that, but I mainly know about type 1 and type 2, especially type 1 for obvious reasons. I kind of wish like the names were different, so people would know that they're different, but you can't have everything in life, can you, Molly? No. I wish that people knew that type 1 diabetes is a lot serious than it makes out. I look like a completely normal person, whatever that might look like. I don't look like I have a life-threatening condition, that's what I'm trying to say. So, like for instance, there's been times where I've been in class and like I've had low blood sugar and I've had to tell the teacher like, can I sit out? And they get quite like annoyed because I look okay when I don't feel okay. Just because I look okay doesn't mean that I feel okay. That's yeah, that's that. Have you ever had a pump, or have you always been using pens? Love your content. Oh, thank you. No, I've never used a pump. I've only ever been using pens. I will use a pump one day, but today is not that day. Can we still eat sweet stuff like cakes, chocolate and sweets? Yes, we can. We can actually eat anything that we want. Like type 1 diabetics can eat anything. There's no food that's off limit whatsoever. As long as we carb count for it and inject against it, then we can literally have whatever. So yeah, you eat that cake, girl. How do you deal with people staring at you in public if you inject or have a Dexcom, etc.? You're always going to have people stare because people are uneducated and people just want to know like what is on your arm or like what are you doing and stuff like that. And like you might have rude people that might say something to you about injecting in public, but as long as you just explain to them what it is, and hopefully like they'll understand and just leave you alone from now on. But from then on, who cares what other people think? Like, live your life. You're literally trying to survive. Like, if people are going to make a face about you injecting, just be like, I'm trying to live. Okay, this is going to be my last question for now, and then I'll answer more on like a part 2. How did you find out you had diabetes? I was quite a chubby kid, and I got bullied a lot in school for being a chubby kid. Like the space of like a couple of weeks, it was ridiculous. Like I lost so much weight. I went down to about like 3.5, 4 stone. And a lot of teachers thought I had an eating disorder because I went that thin. And like they like hold me back after class and like try and feed me biscuits and stuff, which yeah, that didn't help. It was my mum that clocked that something was not right with me, and she recognised the symptoms straight away because one of her really close friends, her son has type 1 diabetes as well. So she recognised the symptoms and like she googled them further to like make sure that they were the same thing. And they were. So like I lost a lot of weight, I lost some of my hair went really thin, I was extremely thirsty, like always going to the toilet because I was drinking so much, and I was just tired. I was ridiculously tired. Me and my family took a day trip to Oakwood theme park in Wales, and I went on this ride, I think I got this ride called Treetops, and I came off it and I was sick everywhere, like really bad, like vomiting like all the time. It was horrible. I remember feeling so ill. My mum was like, there's something not right with this girl. So she took me to the doctors, and of course they said there was nothing wrong with me and I was just going through puberty, that's why I lost all the weight. I'm just growing up. When my mum refused to like have that as an answer, begged him to like take a blood test or like a urine test or something. Agreed to the urine test and he gave me a pot, and I went to the toilet and I came back and he took one look at it and he was like, oh my god. And then straight away he was like, okay, you need to go to hospital, take some stuff with you because you might be there a while. And I was like, what's going on? I'm so confused. So I went home and then I went to go, like, there was Welsh cakes in the cupboard. I went to go eat a Welsh cake, and my mum was like, don't eat that for now, like we don't know what's going on. I was like, oh, okay, like what's happening? So then we went to the hospital and did a blood test, and about an hour later they came back and I was sat in the bed and they told me that I had type 1 diabetes, and I was like, what's that? And they were like, you have to like inject yourself with insulin. I literally remember feeling like the world just caved in on me because I was so needle phobic. I was like, what's gonna happen? Like I thought I was gonna die. Like it was horrible. Yeah, so all those symptoms look out for. I had my first dose of insulin, and I was just being so dramatic because it didn't hurt. It went in my leg. My doctor's name was called Simon. Thanks, Simon. I was like, oh, is that it? And I was like, oh, I can do this. But yeah, that's how I found out I had it, and 10 years later, still have it, still no cure. I'm joking, they're working hard against it. So yeah, 10 years later and I'm here, and obviously I feel so much better. That's all the questions that I'm going to answer today, but thank you everyone who did ask me a question. I've had so many through, but I'm definitely going to do a part 2 at some point, but I don't want to like blab on my first video. But yeah, if you stay to the end, thank you. I honestly appreciate it so much, like the amount of love and support I've had on TikTok recently and on Instagram, and the amount of messages, like I'm just so overwhelmed, but yeah, makes me happy. I want to say a big thank you to everyone who supported me so far, whether that's through my TikTok or my Instagram, but yeah, I'm like so grateful. I can't believe that I've already hit 22,000 followers in what, like 4 weeks, 3 weeks. any other video ideas that you have, please comment down below and I'll be more than happy to do so. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I feel like a proper like influencer, like and subscribe. So yeah, thank you so much for watching my first YouTube video, and if you haven't already, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel because I'll be posting a lot more content like this. And if you have any more video ideas, please don't hesitate to message me or comment down below, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video of my cute and chronic life. Bye!